And there we are. We are now live. Okay. Tell you what.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I know I told you. I mentioned more to you, Fred, what we were going to talk about. Um,
Right.
and and I know Sam, you had asked me earlier what was the topic, and I had mentioned I had a couple things, but well, basically, it's in general
I
wildlife
told.
and wildlife and Bigfoot education. But
Yeah.
before we get into that, I have a I wanted to ask everybody on the panel, and I kind of got this idea from someone at work who shared something with me. And it's about Bigfoot documentaries. Um,
Okay.
yeah, because the guy at work, this is one of the skeptics I work with, and he came up to me today, and he was like, asked me, "Have you ever seen the Russian documentary with the kids who saw the Bigfoot and it ran off. I guess they were in the snow and it was looking at them and they kids went up to it and it ran off or something. Are
Yes,
you guys from? Yeah.
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And he told me, as far as being a skeptic, he said that was to him the most convinced. I mean, it was pretty convincing to him.
Hmm.
And I was trying to ask him. I said, well, what was convincing? What part of it was convincing to you? I mean, but so I mean that's kind of like I want to talk about not just that show in general, but I wanted to get everyone's opinion and ask each of you. I mean, as far as all the documentaries on Bigfoot that you've seen that show any kind of footage or whatsoever, like what is your favorite documentary Bigfoot footage and why? And does I mean is it convincing to you or are you still questioning?
Well, I'm questioning it. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's let Sam go first.
I liked the one with the Russian. That's that big dude. He's on there. He used to be a boxer from Russia, and now
Yeah.
he's in politics. And their thing on that documentary is the kids swearing on there. That was more of a concern rather than what they saw. It seemed like to me, so it seemed really real as far as that goes.
You talk.
And
You
yeah,
talking about the one with the kids video that Bigfoot?
right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good familiar. Yeah, that is interesting because there's no way them kids could have hoaxed that because the tracks they followed the tracks across the field and they got to a certain point and you could see it walk out and freeze.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
when he realized he was spotted, he kind of took off like a bullet. Now,
Hmm.
now a human cannot move that fast in 3 foot of snow. I don't give a damn who you are.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really
Now,
quick.
now the tracks in that video. I mean, I guess we're all kind of talking about the same one now. So I mean, do you, I'm trying to remember when they saw the tracks. The tracks were pretty spaced apart, weren't they?
Yeah, there was about what'd you say, about 4.5, 5 foot apart there,
Y-
Sam?
yep. Yes, sir. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Now,
My
yeah. If they were that spaced, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
well,
Was that you?
yeah. Well, the thing about my favorite documentary, and I've seen bits and pieces of it, is one from the '70s. And Fred and you guys are probably familiar with it. I'm trying to think of it here. It's a gentleman that goes out. He has a team of people. Um, you know, it's from the '70s, and it's up in Washington. And
You talking about the capture of Bigfoot? Like
no,
like
it's an older one from the '70s.
it's
The
a doc.
Legend of Sasquatch.
It might be the Legend of Sasquatch. Actually, it
Yeah,
might be.
yeah, yeah. That's the one I know as the capture of Bigfoot or the discovery of Bigfoot because they come out with two
Okay.
movies. First one they come out with was the Gilman Patterson one, and then the next one they come out with was the. It shows them going. The one I seen is where they had the Honda six wheelers and they were hauling a cage and supplies and stuff going back there. That was called the capture of Bigfoot. I've
No, no,
al-
no, no, no. This one it's these guys. They're
What?
like they're in like old campers, and they go out, and it's
And they're on
there's two.
horseback, and they have an Indian, and miles and miles and miles.
Yeah,
There's
there's
an
like
Indian and a cook, and they
probably
retail they retail stories, reenactments as they go. But then, and there's like a cougar attacks one of them, and
nope,
you
that's
know,
not it. This
Fred, you sent me
yeah
the one that
this
was out at the movies in the '70s.
yeah this wasn't a movie. It's a documentary, and it's one man that does it, but he's got a team of people, and actually one guy goes out by himself for like 3 days.
Yep,
Two women do their thing and on top of a mountain and
I know exactly the one you're talking about, and I have it saved somewhere, but I cannot tell you right off what the name of it is.
it's been a
If I
while.
run across it, I'll send it to you.
What other? Yeah. What other information, buddy? Could you tell us about that, Sam? You said there was a couple women that went off
Yeah,
their own way.
there was, and now, like I said, Daniel, it's been a while since I've watched it, but it's what really got me intrigued in in this field. It's two women, and they're scientists, but it's kind of a low class documentary. And then they got one guy that's the research kind of guy, and it's a team. And this is like 2 years in a row. He's got vehicles. It's pretty cool. I have to look it up for you and see. It's from the '70s. Um,
Okay. I'm
and
trying
one
to
that
think.
Well,
yeah
there are a couple of movies I had, a couple of documentaries I had in the '70s that I've heard of, but I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Now, are any
I
of these possibly
I've got the
have they
one
been?
he's talking about. I'm sorry, Daniel. I have the one he's talking about, and I'll look for it and share it with you all if I find it. I know I have it saved.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because I can't. I personally can't think of what that might be, but it sounds interesting though.
The one
oh it
I
is
the one I remember was the Discovery of Bigfoot, which is Gilman Patterson film. The next one was the documentary of Bigfoot, and the next one was the capture of Bigfoot. That's right there at the beginning of the movie where you see the Honda six wheelers and they're hauling equipment back in the mountains.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I've seen that one time, and that was back in 1979 at the Wayne Theater in Waynesboro. But I can't remember anything past that point. Must not have been that good. The
Hmm.
one, the one,
Yeah, it's I'm looking right here. It's not that Sasquatch that you're talking about. It's
yeah, the
definitely
one,
not that one.
yeah, the one I like is the one in Russia where the kids are scattered out and killed, and and
Oh yeah,
and,
that
and
was
the
brutal.
and the very last picture they showed was something standing way back up in the woods, standing out behind a tree with one leg stuck out, with both legs stuck out. But yet
Yeah.
on the other hand, at, they found a piece of garment that come off the special forces unit boots out there from the Russian special forces. They found one of them out there, you know.
Yeah,
But
I remember. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
but the question is, if the Russian Bigfoot was coming out of the woods, how come the kids went out through the back of the tent going towards the woods? That's right there is the part that gets me. If it was a Russian Bigfoot, if he was coming toward the kids in the tent and the kids come out tearing out of the tent toward the woods, what sense does it make?
That's true.
Hmm.
Well, come on, Daniel. Come on. Burn that brain up.
I know. I was trying to listen and focus at the same time. Meanwhile, I'm getting emails. So, well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that one there. I really found it mysterious. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. Um. Oh, wait a minute.
That's
Is
me.
that
That
okay?
that's the link to the. It's called Here's what it is, Fred. It's called Bigfoot, Man or Beast, 1972. It's Patterson Gimlin with Robert Morgan. That was the guy's name I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay.
Robert Morgan, Jack.
Yeah, I seen that at the Wayne Theater one time. It's when it first hit the
I
air.
like it.
Yeah, it was a good one. I can't remember half of it. It's been so long. I was like 11 or 12 at the time. I mean, you got all these documentaries, and everything like that. But it all boils down to everybody's seen these creatures here and there, but people really don't talk about how the wildlife reacts when you are in there and a Bigfoot is in there. How does nature react? Common sense tells you when you go in to go squirrel hunting, it's dead silent for about 15 minutes till things settle down and everything starts back up again. You walk down a trail, birds are chirping, squirrels are barking, and all on us, and all of a sudden everything just goes. It's like someone pulled the electric plug. Everything goes dead,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it stays dead. That's the weird
Yeah,
part.
but from what I recall about that one documentary you just brought up about the military and all those kids that were found dead, tongues ripped out, and I mean, from what I recall in that documentary, there was a lot of information tossed into that. I mean, I think there was a lot of confusion there between the Russian military, the missile launch location, um, you know,
Exactly.
and the creature that was involved. It was
Right,
crazy though.
because a young researcher and a translator and a hunting guide took them out to
Right.
that spot, and they did hear something because the guy shot a deer and hung it up on a tree or a hog or something back up in the woods, and they heard something. What it was, they don't know. It said maybe it was the lights, so they set up torches all the way around the camp, lit them up. Maybe
Mm.
that might have got the big push going. It didn't work. I think it's a never. The government knows exactly what happened,
Oh yeah.
but they're not letting anybody know. They are
Yeah.
hush hush.
Yeah, they had to intercede. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but they had to jump in there and cover something up, regardless of whatever the case was, because that's part of their location there. I mean, I think that location bordered their territory, and along with wherever else that led into. Because I'm going off of memory now. Also,
Yeah.
because wasn't there a village nearby as well where they
Uh,
questioned people?
about 5 miles before you get to that spot. But the
Okay.
question is, we seen a military piece that goes on the boot.
Yes. Yeah. The part of
Okay,
a
okay,
buckle or yeah.
yeah, they could have been the ones that come up in there because there were footprints everywhere. But how did the kids? I think it was one of them had their eyes ripped out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
Now here's a
Um,
theory. Oh, go ahead, Leo.
I was just going one of the yeah, you had mentioned it before. One of the girls' tongue was ripped out.
Oh,
I do remember that there was a very old village. Ancient isn't the word, but people who had only lived right there, for hundreds, thousands of years. There was a village nearby, which at the time they had kind of on. Not that they did it, but they could have done it. Um, and then when the documentary was made and this dude and the interpreter went out, they went and talked to the villagers, and they kind of decided the villagers didn't have anything to do with it, but the villagers knew of the creature. But we can still speculate on what happened.
Yeah. Now, actually, with what you said, kind of goes along with what I was going to bring up, and this is just my theory. I I think there's a possibility that the government might have been responsible for what happened with the people, but perhaps with the brutal, I don't know, attack or the whatever they did to the people, perhaps they made it look like there was a creature there, knowing that that area has a legend, and perhaps maybe the village people and the general area has a fear of that creature, and maybe they made it look like it was blamed on them or something. You know,
Yeah. True,
but
true,
it's
true.
hard to say. It could have been the work of the creature. Perhaps they were
But
trespassing
what
into their territory, or I
if it
mean,
was the creature? Why didn't they find any footprints
that's a
going
good point.
in and coming out? And right there where they took that picture, why didn't someone go up there after the fact they seen it and took the picture? Because it might have turned around and hauled ass. Why didn't they run up there and look to see if that footprints?
Yeah,
One of the
Because
one of the most mysterious pictures from that incident is a picture of lights in the air.
yeah, it could have been
yeah.
UFOs.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm just
Steve.
saying it's there. I mean, it's a picture.
Yeah. Now Steve Peck messaged me with a comment because he's watching. He says soft tissues like tongues and eyes are the first to go after death. Which, yes, that's true. But I don't know. I mean, he may not be familiar with what we're talking about.
yeah.
But with what was
Because
found, these were literally ripped and gouged. The eyes were gouged out,
yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and the tongue was actually ripped. I don't think it was cut. It was actually forced out. So, but yeah, I understand what he's saying. So
And another thing is, you did not see any wildlife. Period.
yeah,
It was
nothing was stated. No animal signs, and
it,
no predators.
it was dead silent.
Hmm I mean, there's bears in there. There had to been bears in that. We know Russia's got bears.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there was no mention of no predator signs, and like you said, no tracks of another creature. It was just the
There
only
was a
evidence found
picture.
there. Yeah,
There was a picture on one of the cameras that
Yeah.
showed a body or a being of some sort in the woods. Kind of, there was a picture. It wasn't clear, of course, but it seemed to show something.
Well,
yeah,
That was on one of the kids' cameras.
they did.
yeah.
And one of the girls wrote in her journal to, I don't remember if she said the Yeti or the Snow Beast, but it was
Yeah,
like the Snow Beast lives
Yeah. Well, they
was
tried
like the
to.
last thing in her journal.
Yeah, they tried to zoom it in, but it was just too pixelated because it was a low grade camera.
oh yeah,
So when they got it in about 80%, about 60 to 70%, it started pixelating real bad.
yeah.
But you could see it
My,
was the hominin or hominoids standing there.
Hmm.
I'll tell you another good documentary. I
Oh
know you
yeah,
guys have seen it. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
yeah. I
You,
hear you.
you, you know Dr. Jeff Meldrum. I really like that guy. I really do.
Mhm.
Mm.
But he was in a documentary with another guy that I think
And,
is retired police guy that did the dermal ridges on the footprint.
oh, you talking about
Yeah,
the camp about 200 miles up in the out on some lake where the front door had a piece of
Rock thrown
plywood
out.
with
Alaska.
nails in it.
Yeah, and all that.
It
Yeah.
was Alaska, I think, wasn't it?
No, it was in
yeah. The
Canada.
guy you're referring to that was with Jeff Meldrum
But
that did the studies with him.
but
That was a Jimmy Chilcutt.
That's it. Yeah.
because Meldrum stayed a night by itself on the island next to it and didn't get interaction, but they did get rocks thrown at the cabin at nighttime, and because they heard a rock and they
Hmm
threw it back, and another rock came and they threw it back, and it was kind of like back and forth, for a little bit. It was I find it comical though, but they tried to get blood samples, but due to the weather, it was too contaminated.
Well, not just that. I think there was some, which I don't know why they didn't think about this earlier. I mean, before they set this up. But there was some kind of rust. It was between rust or the galvanized coating that was coming off on the screws that they used to set that. And I think, yeah, between the rust and the coating on the screws was
The weather and all that
causes the
crap.
contamination.
Yeah.
If I'm remember, yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, I could
Yeah,
be wrong on some of that, but
Yeah.
you're
so
right. The cabin had been torn up
That's why they
before
put it. Yeah, because
inside, and
right.
so when the people left, they put the piece of board with the nails or screws up through it, and then when they happened to get there next year or whenever, they did see what they thought was a footprint shape with blood and whatever. But yeah, with the weather and the, like she said, rust galvanization, it was contaminated.
yeah, that's good
Hmm.
research. It was good research.
Yeah, yeah, that one there, I like that one too when they did all that work there. Yeah, because Jeff Meldrum, he was younger in that one there. That was one of
I
his younger documentaries
think it
before he
was
turned
like
all.
I think it was like 10 years. 10 years when he was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it might have been about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's some good documentaries out there. You know, and also, I think along apart from documentaries, I think as far as the different footages, we know there's a whole bunch of different Bigfoot footages out there. Some of them are just, you know, even the ones that look like you want to believe in them, but it's like
Uncertain.
you're not sure. Yeah, it's like it's hard to say. Like, man, that's kind of convincing to me, but then you got that doubt. You're questioning it. I'm like, could
Yeah.
it be? Or you
Yeah.
know,
Well. Yeah. It's like that. Timber giant Bigfoot, the one with the supposedly female Sasquatch with the baby.
uh, you talking about the one that stood up where they started filming, where it came up over the rock and so just started taking off?
No, 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 no. The one I'm talking about is well, he
Oh,
went in there and started. He did a knock, and a knock
mm-hmm.
come back to him, and you could see what was sitting there. You could see it moving, and he knocked on a tree right there at it, right about
Mm.
20, 30 yards from it. And Thinker Thunker's done reworked it. M.K. Davison reworked it. Thinker Thunker says it's a female Squatch with a baby.
Mm.
But when Timber Giant gets over there, you can see where something had some was playing with had nuts and everything on the ground, like they was eating peanuts or something because there was some rocks there, some nuts there, and everything. But the problem was it was never confirmed. Now
Mm.
everybody's saying it was a
Hmm.
it was a
Interesting.
reddish brown Sasquatch with a female baby, or it was a female with a baby, you know, because Timber Giant Bigfoot does a lot of video. He is like Paul said. He got sent uh, an expensive camera, and he didn't know how to use it, so he's using this small one that he knows how to use. The other one's about like a $3,000 camera. He just leaves that at the house. But he takes his son out with him. Like one time him and his kids, they made a cabin tent. They put the tent up and they stabilized it with wood frames, and they put boards on every wood and stuff on it. And then right up over top of his head one night, it looked like an eyeball when it was raining. Well, come find out, it was a rip in the tent, and water was dripping down through it, and it looked like an eyeball.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
I tell you, the best footage I've ever seen, and I've only seen it one time on YouTube, and I guess it's been taken off and never been put back on. But it's one of the very first night vision shots of three Bigfoot that a Canadian park ranger got,
I never
and
seen that one.
yeah, and he when he retired, he put it out, and like I said, I watched it for a couple days and went back to try to find it. Couldn't I still can't find it. You know.
All right,
That one there, it sounds familiar.
all right. What do you think about the
Go ahead.
Dave? What do you think about the Dave Mantane video?
Which
I'm not
one's?
familiar with that
I'm
one.
not either. Which one's that one?
He scenario.
If,
He goes into a bar one night and he leaves. He's accused of doing something, and they had the cops look for him. So him and his buddy went out way out in the mountains at a railroad camp and everything, and they built in 60 foot high in a tree. They built a treehouse blind. Well, right about 100, 200 yards away in front of the blind or house there is a tree that fell because it uprooted. Well, here's what Mantane says: if there are no such thing as Bigfoots, why are there why is there 10 to 13 foot humans walking around out here?
wait, why is there what running around out here?
I'll tell you what, Daniel. Let me see. Let me go to my YouTube channel and let me copy it, and I'll send you the link on your message.
Okay.
All right, let me do
Yeah,
that
all right.
real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
I like the show Finding Bigfoot for this reason only, and I've talked to Cliff myself personally. It's all for entertainment.
Yep, that's all it is.
It is, but I like to hear the places they go and see the places they go because I'm
And to hear the eye.
about 90 get to yeah, in the eyewitnesses. So I mean, it's pretty cool, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's just neat. I can't. I think that's not.
I think a lot the listening to the witnesses and seeing what they have, listening to hear what they have to say. That's pretty interesting too. You know. And then yeah, like you said, they go to the different places.
Now,
And I like their investigations of what they where they go and check out and do the reenactments. I find that actually cool. And is well entertaining too. So, but I mean, yeah, the
Arnold,
show. I mean, they got to make it entertaining. I mean, that's do
was
what?
Tracy on the show?
No, Trace. No, he was
Tracy
never on
Arnold.
Finding Bigfoot. No, not on Finding Bigfoot. No.
Oh, come on.
What's wrong, Fred?
Huh? All these damn computers, laptop
Oh,
is ass.
I know.
I know the most compelling audio out there.
Man, what is that?
Hold on.
Mine.
Yeah, I don't.
My
Yeah.
audio, Fred.
Uh-huh.
I'm on here
Sure.
for
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, it was hard to hear you, Sam, because on my end it sounded like you were lagging, like your audio, your voice was going in and out. Um, I will mention for viewers, if you have any comments, questions, I'm looking at the live chat. Feel free to ask a question. If there's anything you hear us talk about, or maybe we might make you think of something that we're not talking about, feel free to share it with us. Like I said, leave a comment. And I think we just had uh, a short few words from Sam's dog.
Uh-huh. Really? I'm still looking.
That's my killer dog there.
I think, hey, everybody,
Everybody what?
I think he froze.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm trying to find that video. It's a Dave Mantane from Canada.
I'm trying to stay muted so I don't bother anybody with my feedback.
See, I'm looking. Dave Mantane. God damn, I got over 1,000. Shit. Got plenty of Stevie Nicks. Timber Giant Bigfoot. Bill Brock. Scott Carpenter. Bigfoot Report.
I'll put this on the record. I think Rick Dyer's a dang joke.
He is a joke.
You know, I give it to him in this one sense. He's made money. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he's done anything right, he's made himself money.
Yeah, because
he cannot be happy. I don't care who you are. Money is not everything. And I just think he's a dang joke.
Yeah, he is. That's why he's running.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I know who you're talking about. I just came back on. Matt Moneymaker. Am I right?
No, but that's close enough. We're talking Rick Dyer. I think Rick Dyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was saying I don't like the guy. I would never go in the woods with him. I don't believe a thing he says. But one thing I do give the guy is he's made some good money for himself. I don't think he's done it the right way. But if he's going to make money, then he's dang sure done it pretty darn good, I think. But I would never – I don't watch any of his videos. I don't like any he does. I think he's a smart aleck. That night we had him on, he acted like he started flipping through that magazine when you were talking. And, I mean, just right there just kind of showed me what type of person he was.
He's an asswipe.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing, you know, and a lot of people were mad at him for what he did, the stunt he pulled. But if you think about it, the man admitted to it. I mean, yeah, he had, you know, he was out there to make his money and make his dollar, but the man admitted to what he did. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, if you want to look at it in a positive way. But
Yeah, at least he admitted what he did, but he also will never be trusted
right.
anymore, you know, and that's sad, you know.
Well, I couldn't trust him not only on that, but anything. I mean, anything. I mean, anything he says.
Mm-hmm. Fred is working hard at trying to pull up a video off his YouTube channel. Oh, Fred, if you want, you could
What?
if you want, you go. If that's what you're trying to do is try to work and pull something, you could get it after this if you want. If it's easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, y'all can still see me, can't you?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
Yes, and you're lovely, Fred. You're just lovely.
I don't know if you heard you, Lael. Lael said you're lovely too. Now he's whistling that. He's whistling that Lael.
Oh, I can't wait till she gets here.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. You he right on, boy.
And I got a surprise for you.
Well, tell you what. I know we've been talking about the documentaries and different, you know, some footage, you know, Bigfoot footage. The main topic, I actually, I want to go ahead and kind of start getting into a little bit of that. And the topic is, for those who are not familiar with it, is wildlife and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
On the most part, I know everyone here on the panel, I mean, I believe it's safe to say, and if I'm not, please correct me. Are we all familiar with a majority of our known wildlife?
Of course.
I mean, as far as now, Lael, I know you know a lot. You know, you're familiar with a lot of wildlife, but as far as, like, for example, you're going to be coming up here to Virginia here, you know, just next month. Now, when you come up here, are you familiar with a lot that's known to be in our woods, or in any woods general? Because you're really not far. You're actually just south from us, and basically you have the same things down there, maybe a little bit more of something. But I mean,
Yeah, I was raised in the country, hunting family, farming family, and here in eastern North Carolina, and we have about the same thing I think that you do, but now y'all are more west, and I did live in the mountains of North Carolina 15 years, see, where there's skunks and chipmunks, groundhogs, which we don't have on the East Coast. Now I don't know about getting out and hunting for those or whatever, but I grew up in a hunting and fishing family and spent a lot of time traipsing through the woods as a kid, and what I still live in a woody kind of area. But so I can't tell you what each bird call is, but I know bear and
Yeah.
deer and raccoons and possums and bobcats. I'm basically familiar with all of that. And I'm waiting
Yeah.
to the big guy, or at least one of the
Oh
smaller
yeah.
guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm basically. Fred calls me a city
All
girl,
right.
but I'm not. I am 50 now, not 20, so I don't traipse as much as I used to out
Uh-huh.
there. But it's still,
Uh-huh.
when you're raised with it, you always got it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as far as being called a city girl, I think Fred refers to anybody who doesn't get out in the woods that much or is not able to, a city person. So I don't think he means any, anything but that. I don't think he intends any harm in that,
Oh,
but
I,
that's
I
just
don't, I
Fred.
don't, I don't take offense. Yesterday, he told me happy birthday turkey. So, you know, that's just Fred. I don't take any offense. But I am looking forward to going and just to be back in the mountains. I hated when we moved from the mountains back to the coast. It's beautiful here, but I love those mountains so good, and I can't wait to go see your mountains.
Well, Bald Mountain's open now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jeff was up there the other day, rubbed it
Yeah,
in my
there's
nose.
mountains all around us up here and
Oh God, we got nothing but mountains.
you
But
know,
I tell you, what people don't
and
realize,
Sam, I know.
man. People
Yeah,
don't
go ahead,
real.
Fred.
People don't realize when you go up on Bald Mountain, man, the the altitude, the scenery changes, and so does the critters and everything.
Oh yeah.
That's the fun part about it.
And in each forest you have different animals that like to dwell more in specific areas.
Yeah.
Now Sam, I know you're outdoors all the time. I mean, and you're pretty well familiar with a lot of wildlife. I mean, is there any animals that you're probably not too familiar with, maybe because you don't get to see them? Because we do have a lot of elusive animals around. I mean, people do see bears. Not everybody gets to see bears, but we do get to see bears. Hunters get lucky and see bears. You know, and that's another thing. People that see bears, like hunters that see bears, a lot of them see bears because their dogs are pushing them out. But bears are very elusive.
Hey, they
I
are
mean,
at that.
just and just like mountain lions, bobcats, you know, they're very rare to see, but people get fortunate and lucky to see them.
Uh
I mean,
huh.
any of these predator animals, I mean, like bears, and I mean, how often have you got to see any of them, Sam?
Well, I mean, we don't see bears that much. Um,
Right.
I mean, they're about like scared of us as we are them. But I tell you, we see a lot of deer, especially on High Knob, right at the base of it. Tons and tons of deer. So there's plenty of wildlife for these creatures to feast on. A lot of fox.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of fox, and we see a lot of fox. But one thing
We
I've been seeing a lot of lately is more of those prints, Fred. Like we discussed about a month ago, those cat tracks. So I took a few more pictures of
Yeah.
those. I took a few more pictures of those the other day. So I'm seeing those more often up in our area than we used to. So I mean, I don't know if maybe it's influx of just the wolves and the
What do you got, more grays or more reds?
grays. A lot of gray.
Yeah, all the grays are now low, but all the reds, all the beautiful reds are up on the further up on the mountain here.
But other than that, you hear a lot of owls. Even right here where I live in the city of Kingsport, we've got owls in the backyard. So I mean, you guys know how it is. You
Yeah.
live in the country too. So I mean, your backyard's kind of the country. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Now, couple of them. I mean, as far as we're talking about wildlife, there and I know I bring it up a lot, and it's one of the main ones. There's a couple, but a couple ones I want to kind of focus on, and the main one is bears, and and we'll even throw in mountain lions. Um, Now, a lot of people assume they know bear tracks. Bear tracks could be very deceiving in different ways. Bear tracks. A lot of people actually have mistaken bear tracks for Sasquatch. And people have mistaken small bear tracks for cat tracks. Um, some people actually, and that's the thing with another thing about cat tracks. Some cat tracks could be very deceiving. Uh, some people will actually think they're looking at canine tracks when they are cat tracks. They're and sometimes with nails that are retracted, they could be very deceiving. There is a spread. There is a specific spread on cat tracks that dogs will have more of a direct. Their toe pads will be more centered, unlike a bear. I mean, excuse me, a cat would be a more of a wide spread, like kind of taking your fist compared to a canine track. But yeah, I've seen people quote on bear tracks where their bear tracks they were referring to them as cat tracks, which I could kind of understand that because there is some similarities there, especially with the front paws of a bear. Um, because like we've mentioned before, a lot of people will see bear tracks and not think they're bear tracks because they don't see claws. I see a lot of bear tracks without claws, and it all depends on the terrain. Um, and then if they're actually kind of starting to climb or grip, the way their claws will step into the ground, that there itself will have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, but yeah, I mean bear tracks. I mean, do you see a lot of bear? No, you said you don't see much bear down there, but do you come across their tracks down your way, Sam? Did Sam freeze up? Oh, there he is.
Yes, I'm sorry. We come across the tracks quite often. I was trying to find a track, and so you could put it on the screen here, the most recent cat or wolf that I found. But as far as bears,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, when I'm looking at those tracks, I usually am with my brother-in-law because he hunts bear, and we've got two of them in the cabin stuffed. So when it comes to any questions that I have as far as that, I kind of relate to him because I'm still kind of new on the bear tracks. And
Right.
when I question something, I kind of go to him for advice because I mean he lives at High Knob, so um, you know anything anything kind of question like that, I always go to him about it.
Yeah, it's something else that really
Give me.
something really bugs it. It really bugs the crap out of me. You got these people,
What's that?
they'll say, when you find a Bigfoot track, they'll say, well, maybe you was being chased by a bear or you seen a bear. Common sense tells you when a bear gets a whiff of you, he's 100 miles an hour in the other direction. Why can't people understand that?
Yeah. Now, I posted a link here in the group chat for us here live. I put it on the live chat for viewers, which is www www.ecbro.wordpress.com. Now, if you check that out, one of the blogs I have in there, I actually have one for cats, referring to mountain lions, cougars, etc. Um, Now, some of them I didn't do my other one, I'm going to update it later, where I'm going to show a comparison from cats to canines, because a lot of people mistaken canines or cat tracks for canines when they're quite the opposite. Um, Now, they do look alike. I'm not going to lie, they do look alike. Um, so I shared that link so people could go through and browse through, check out the different blogs I have under my website. Because there's some images you guys might want to check out. Get familiar with some of the animals there. And Sam, if you're posting pictures right now, I can't really screen share at the moment because if I do, I
That's
may end up
fine.
getting knocked off because that's what. Yeah. But let me see. I know you posted them, so I can go check them out through my phone. Uh, Give me a second. Hmm. Hold on. What do we got here? My phone is actually being slow.
Yeah.
Can you see it, Fred?
Wait a
All right.
minute.
Is it? I see you got one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
And then I'm gonna post
Yeah.
the print that we found. It was across the creek from the trail we were walking on, it's called the Devil's Fork Loop Trail, which is near the Devil's Bathtub. And we were across the creek, me and my nephew. We were checking out a certain rock over there it had a circular formation in it, which was weird. That's the reason we went over there, but I'll put in there too.
Now, all right. I got one of the tracks I'm looking at. I'm looking at it zoomed in, and tell you what, because one way you could actually identify a cat track too, which it's hard to make out in this picture, is the pad. The pads are very important. But now this one here, hmm. Judging from the shape of them, this does look canine though. But it's hard to tell. Hold on. It's very hard to tell without really looking at the rest of the pad. It looks kind of. Was the pad real small and narrow, or was it a real wide pad?
It was wide.
Wide, yeah. Because canines have like a narrow V-shaped pad, and then a cat track is more of a wide, almost like a W shape.
Yeah, but I see what you mean now. Whenever you say you take a picture of the track and it doesn't look near what you're actually looking at in person.
Right, exactly. I do that with that's usually with the case with impressions. When I try to share, like I could see something in person, you can see the whole shape of what you're looking at in person. Take a
Mm-hmm.
picture of it, and you're like, like I'll even look at the picture myself. I was like, man, is this even worth sharing? Because I mean, some of my, I'm not saying this about you, but me in general, because I do this a lot, and a lot of the stuff I take pictures of, I question myself. I was like, I don't know if I should even bother sharing.
Yeah.
Well, when I take and go riding up on Bald Mountain, we're, they got a lot of you know how like up on the logging road they'll take and cut like a little gully way across the road for the water
Mm-hmm.
to drain. Well, over to the if you're going up Bald Mountain, over to your left side, it has these piles of sand, and that's where I find most of my tracks. You know, like deer tracks or coyote tracks or bobcat tracks or bear tracks, stuff like that. And 80% of the tracks I find on them spots is where a bear double steps every time. I can see out of 30, 25 out of 30 or bear tracks that are double stepped. But if if you've been tracking like long as I have, you learn to you learn to read the track. You know what it is, observe it. I mean, every once in a while I'll make a screw up. I'll boo boo. I've never made a mistake on a bear track, but I've made mistakes on a mountain lion track one time.
Mm-hmm.
now,
You know,
now you said the pad was pretty wide on there, right?
Yeah, it was wide. Now, my nephew Cody, he's a pretty avid hunter too. He seemed to think that that it was a small bear, which I didn't see
Oh
that.
no, no, that's
Yeah.
definitely not a small bear.
And I was like, Cody, there's no way that's a bear. He's like, well, look at he said there was claw marks that were also in the dirt, and I didn't
Right.
see that, but now he might
Now,
have. I don't know.
I, now I do see a couple claw marks, but now I'm gonna lean my honest opinion and that there, just judging by the picture, and then you said they were it had a wide, um, excuse me.
Okay, now what I'm looking at here, look at the heel. Look at the very back of it. Look,
It because it looks like a cat. It look. I'm leaning towards a cat track on this one.
is that the one with the upside down print?
Well, the way I'm looking at the picture, the Mountain Dew bottle's on the bottom, and the
Oh, I
track's
don't.
above it.
Oh, wait a minute, I got the wrong picture then. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, not the one with the moss in it.
That's the only one I see. Oh, wait a
Uh,
minute.
he he has a couple of them up
Ah,
there.
okay, okay, all right. Yeah, let me check this one out.
Oh, now I see the long. Yeah, I see this other track you got right here.
That's
On
Okay.
the
that's the one that Cody found actually.
yeah.
When we were across the creek, he's
All
like, look at this over here,
right.
and
Let me ask you a question. With the one with the pop bottle in it, is the lid facing toward the front
yeah,
of the track?
Yeah, and
it is.
not
Yes.
the one. Yeah, I'm looking at the one in the mud, the dirt and mud, not the one with a green moss in it.
The one with the Mountain Dew bottle faced the same way. That's a mountain lion.
Yeah,
And you know what?
That's a small cat.
That that's supposed. I've thrown out the what I looks like a print because you know what? We were really. I mean, it was across the creek. Yeah, it was hard to get across, but
You
it
got
could have been somebody.
yeah.
You
Like
know.
you got down your way. You got a lot of cats.
yeah, because cats have been seen more down in the south, especially in Southwest Virginia.
Yeah. Now the cats ain't as big down there as they are up here because it's more flat down there. But
Mhm.
you got like a year old cats, like a puma. It's about a year old. That's the kind of track I'm seeing.
Oh, Fred, have you seen the size of the bobcats have been taking up in the northwestern parts of like and around the West Virginia areas around here this past hunting season?
Oh, I
I see.
know how big them bad boys get. They get up to 60 pounds, man. There's some big boys back there.
I seen a couple hunters with pictures of the bobcats they got bigger than Rottweilers. I swear to you not, there were some big bobcats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because a lot of hunters saying that we're starting to get that lynx are migrating down from Canada and they're breeding with the bobcats because the bobcat, usually about 25 to 30 pounds. That's normal for
Mhm.
a
yeah,
female, and about 35 to 40 for a male. But when you get up to about 60, 70, and 80-pound cats, if you the Canadian lynx, big floppy foot,
right.
and it depends on how they walk. I mean, as far as like walking on soil, and if you get into a real mushy spot, you'll have a good sized track. You know, but that's something people don't realize. I mean, the way stuff's been going here the last couple of years. We got hogs coming into the Virginia. We got elk in Virginia now, and now I've been talking to other hunters and on the internet and everything. They've been seeing bobcats that was big, like you say, bigger than a Rottweiler, and that's not normal. And
Yeah,
they have to be breeding with another bigger cat. And I know it ain't a mountain lion because mountain
right.
lions and bobcats do not get along. I've already seen a fight between both of them, and
Mhm.
I'll tell you what. And as far as speed goes, the bobcat's got it. As far as strength goes, the mountain lion's got it.
Yeah,
But because the bobcat jumped out of a tree, pounced on the mountain lion, and was starting to wail his ass. But as soon as that mountain lion fell on his back, started going up with it, he just took over. And bobcat took off. So bobcat is a cocky little sucker.
yeah.
They are the
Um, Now, Fred, I know you've tried it before, and I actually just tried to do it. I did try to do a screen share because I was gonna pull his photos up, but it won't let me do it right now because I'm temporarily using a different browser. So,
Right. Right.
um, but I was wondering if you might be able to try to do a screen share.
I don't know how to do a screen share.
Do you?
All right, if I go up here in
All
the
right,
corner, wait, let me find my mouse. Okay, go up here in the corner, hit screen share.
all right, screen share and click on it.
Okay, I got that. Now
Does
I got
does
I got two sets of
Windows open, showing?
yeah, I got two windows showing. I got
Does,
entire screen and I got Google Hangout.
all right. Listen, do you have another one open to where? All right, if you could go pull up his picture, click on it to enlarge it, and then come back to screen share, and then that will be available to screen share
All right, let me go to this
on a
one.
different page.
All right, which one? Which track?
All right, well, pull up the one that looks like a humanoid track.
Okay, all right. Uh,
All
click.
right, then you come back to this page. Yeah,
All
come
right,
back. Okay, yeah. Once you see it,
come back to this page. Okay, now what?
and then and go then go to screen share again.
Share.
Okay, then
Are you
yeah.
talking
Once you do
about
screen share,
pictures?
yeah, I'm trying to get him to do a screen share.
Well, I got the picture
All right,
brought up like when I click on it, it gets big. I got it on that right
yeah.
now, and I go to
All
and I
right,
hit screen share, and it just I can see where
you
Sam's
gotta go.
got
Okay,
it.
but if you got screen share open, you got the picture. You got to come back into here to share to everybody. Because once you click on the picture you want to screen share, you hit start. Once it's highlighted, you'll see the option where it says Start Screen Share. Then you come back to the Google Plus Hangout page where everybody's at,
Wait a minute.
and
Okay,
then you click Present to Everyone.
okay. If I hit screen share, let's see. All right, screen share is up right now. I got two windows, the entire screen of Google Hangout. I go back to my Facebook. I hit that picture, and it makes it big. Then I come back to Google Hangout, and I hit share, and there's nothing. The only way I could do this is do it this way. Save image as.
All right.
Back over
Under the
here.
screen share. All right. Listen. Under screen share, when you clicked on the image you wanted to screen share, did it highlight for you?
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna click off again. All right, now I'm gonna go over here to the arrow and hit screen share. God damn it! Come back out here. I'm gonna hit screen share. Okay, now I got two windows open. Okay, I got two windows open. It says the first window says entire screen. The second window says Google Hangouts. Google. Okay. Now I go back to my Facebook. I click the picture of the humanoid foot. Picture gets big, and it's down at the bottom of it. It says forward and download. Okay, that's what I got. And I go back up here, hit my Google Hangout, come back on screen. I see I see Sam, but I don't see anything else.
Okay. All right. Hold on one second. Sam, are you are you on a laptop?
He's walking.
I'm on my iPad.
Okay. No, your screen share won't work on that.
Let me see here. Go to Facebook.
Lael, did you want to try to do it? You got to have two windows open to do it. You need to have this window open and then the other window that you're screen sharing.
Okay, all right.
Like,
Start from the
well,
beginning and tell me, and I've got my Facebook
all
where
right.
open where I got the picture. I clicked the
Okay.
picture to make
All
it
right. You
larger.
got. Okay. Now come back to the Google Plus Hangout while leaving that one open.
Okay, hang on. All right,
All right, and go
all
to
right.
your top left corner. You see your icons on the left.
Yep,
The second one down with
screen
the arrow, it's
share.
called screen share. All right, click on
Click
that.
it.
Do you see anything that pops up?
I see
Do you see the picture that you want to
Your
share?
icon. Let's see. Select the window to show
Yep.
in this
Select the one
video
you.
call. Oh, I
Yeah.
see
Select.
your icon.
All right. Select the one. All right. You don't see the picture that you have highlighted.
Nope. Same
I
what
mean,
she
the
did.
one that you want to share. All right, because you guys don't have second windows
Uh,
open up. You only have. You need to have two windows open up. You need to have this page and a whole separate page. Yeah. All right. You got the screen share thing down, but you got the wrong thing pulled up.
so I got the wrong.
Yeah. You need to click on the one you want to share. Yeah. If you the picture that's in the podcast link group chat, if you pull that picture up, that's the one you want to screen share.
Oh, I just said it a minute ago.
So, for example, if you have Facebook opened up, that's you want to keep that page open and this page open right here for the Google.
Well, that's what I got. I got both pages open, but I got to go back.
Okay.
I got to go back to my Facebook, and I'm clicking on this video that Sam just put up. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to. Okay, I got that right there. Wait a minute. Okay, now go back up here to Hangout.
Uh-huh. All right, where you see everybody here. Okay, wait a minute. All right, you got the wrong one. You clicked on the wrong one, Fred.
All right.
When you see your options to screen share, you only pick the one that has the one you want to share, like the one that has your picture pulled up that you want to share to everybody. You
All
see
I
one
said.
that has a picture that you highlighted on the other page.
Now my screen share doesn't even want to.
No, because all I'm seeing is every time I
All right,
do it,
hey, give me a second, guys.
Oh,
you're.
wait. I
All
might.
right,
What the heck did
all
I
right. Tell
hit?
you what, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, every time I try to do a screen share, all the thing that pops up is Daniel's icon.
That's what mine did too.
Yeah, so I go back to Sheen.
Now all I see is you.
Okay, there's this right here. Okay, come
But
back
I've
here.
got the.
Hey, Fred,
Yeah.
I put that new another tree in a tree video on there.
Oh
That's
yeah.
about that's about the newest thing I found that I think might be worth something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean you can tell it the base of the tree roots. It's a whole damn tree up in a tree. Who knows how long it's been up there?
Look at the roots, man. That tells you everything. Ah, damn, I had it. Just had it. Okay. Ah, every time I hit the Sheen. Oh, I see his Leo now. Every time I share. No. Every time I come back, I get the picture and come back on screen share, and right when I get ready to push the button on the screen, the
It disappears.
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do it this way: screen share, back here, come over here, click it, back here, click. There it goes again. Just did it again.
You're hilarious, Fred.
Huh?
I said you're hilarious.
Wow.
I don't know.
All right,
You're
hey
just hilarious.
everybody. All right, I had to jump off.
Yeah. Okay, you had to
All
jump
right,
off.
all right. Hold
I,
on. I had to jump
I,
off and get to the other. Do the pod. I have. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm under a different browser, so this should work. Hold on, I'm gonna find out here in just a second if it's gonna work or not. So, all
I
right,
think the only time
see
you
if
can
it'll
get
let me do
screen
this.
share, I think the only time you get screen
Hold
share to
on,
come up
just bear.
is if you're the one that's doing the podcast. You're the only one that can screen share. Rest of us
Now
can't.
anyone could screen share.
All right, there's your footprint.
Anyone could do it. I've done it. I've done it. Yeah, this is the one I was gonna pull up. So if you,
Now, what I'm looking at, whoever took it
is the heel.
picture, whoever took it backwards.
Yeah, that was me. I took it backwards.
All right, because it looks like a tennis shoe.
Yeah, I remember when he first shared this. I asked.
Do
Look at
y'all
that
see
heel.
that?
Yeah, look at that heel.
That's
I
what I
did it.
thought too.
Yeah, this one here is because this one here was hard to make out if there was any toes. I couldn't
Yeah,
really tell if there was toes or not in it.
look at the roundness. It's too
Yeah.
perfect. That's a tennis shoe. So y'all had someone up on your property that wasn't
All right.
supposed to be there.
No. This
I
wasn't on
can't
our
screen.
property. It was on Devil's Fork Loop Trail. It
Oh,
was
up on High Knob.
yeah. It was a trail going to I don't know. It's called the Devil's Bathtub.
Yeah, that's a tennis shoe.
That's why I threw it out.
Yeah,
Can you
because
see it, Daniel?
yeah, cause yeah, he's the one who shared it. But because
No, I shared it.
oh, because if you look at the where it's done sunk down, if you look at that,
He might.
it's two. It's you can see it's got a instead of being round, kind of beveled, it's an L shape.
Mhm.
You see that? That's one thing you look for when you look at a track. Make sure you turn around and take a picture of it with it going forward. Then you look at the heel. If it's got a kind of like a kind of smooth like this here, it's kind of smooth like that. Or
Mhm.
shall I say, if it's you know because a tennis shoe or a boot will have a L shape all the way around it. Where it's like around the bottom rim of your shoe, right there where it goes from your side of your foot to the bottom. That's what you look for, and that'll tell you if it's a because a squash track, the where the edge of the foot is, it's smooth, kind of beveled, like our foot.
I've got 3 pictures of the trackway that we got last year, but I'm telling you the way that these look, it's almost each of them are a little bit different than one another. I don't know if it's because each of the steps are on different soil types of soil.
Now,
Um,
are you finding just one track, or are you finding 3 or 4 tracks in an area, and how
yeah,
far are they apart?
yeah. This is on that track video that I took.
Oh, okay.
The one that's about a minute long.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll tell you
that
what. I'll
yeah.
tell you what. I'm going out tomorrow, and I'll see if I can find some good tracks and everything. And when I find a track, I'll tell you exactly what to look for when you find the track. Give you some distinctions on exactly what to look for, so you know exactly what you're looking at.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Hey, here's you one. I got
Okay.
one for you.
All right.
Aha. I got
Okay.
one.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready. Okay. So on these tracks that we found, next to it was a little tree that was snapped in half, and all over that tree, it looks to me here that the tree might be a little beech tree.
Yeah.
And where it's broken in half, where it's snapped in half, there's a lot of little flies all over where it's broken. Is that common around beech
A
trees
lot.
or tree
Wait
breaks?
a minute. A lot of what you froze when you were saying what it is.
House flies.
You said, and we found, and then you froze, and you said around beech trees.
Okay.
All
So
right, I'm back. That's why I'm not doing screen shares because it knocks me off.
Okay,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
All right. So you're saying you saw a little tree, a beech tree that was broke right along where the footprint was, and what was you say was on that beech tree?
flies, tiny house flies, a bunch of them, like 30 or 40. I got a picture of it.
Well, it's probably just a sap from the because a beech tree when they're small, growing up and you snap them, they bleed a lot, and it's got a sweet taste for the flies.
Okay.
Flies will tear that up.
And
Yeah.
bees.
Yeah, any kind of tree, like any softwood tree, like a beech tree, a maple tree, a sumac tree, when they're real young and they're broke down next to the bottom, or about 2 foot up, or foot up, and it's a spring of the year, them flies will just hit it like it's candy.
Well, where this track is, it's pretty cool because you can tell how this creature stepped, and it just like it almost took its left hand and was just moving this little tree out of its way, almost like it was just a nuisance, just breaking it over. Um, and
Well,
it was heading towards a bear
Fred.
yeah.
station. Yeah.
What, Daniel?
Yeah, Fred. I got a question from the live chat. It's directed to you from well, I can't see it. Anyway, his real name's Ryan Reed, and I don't know his something
What's the
Prepper.
what's the question?
It is referring to the track. As I guess it's a comment you made about the track that we had pulled up, screen shared.
Right.
Hold on, where'd it go? He wants to know. He said, "Fred, why are you saying the roundness pertains to a shoe?" Just
Because
curious.
all right, because look right here on your shoe, right here. It comes down. It's got an L shape this way and up, like a corner of like a box corner. If you look at that track, you can see that around the edges of it. When a person steps down, their heel goes down. It comes down all. It just kind of comes down like this and opens up, and it leaves that square, that little edge right there. It's a sharpness you can see. Instead of being beveled like this, it's like this. If you go back to that
Yeah.
track, if you go back to that track and look at it, and look right around the edges of it, especially on the back half of the foot, because it's the left foot that you're looking at, and look at it, and look
Now,
at the.
yeah. What I'm curious about, I don't know if this question was asked to Sam or not, but Sam, on that track, I know just looking at the picture, I mean, I couldn't really tell if there was like a heel of a boot or a shoe in there, but what I mean, did it look like it was all one even consistent step?
Yeah, it appeared
It
human to
did.
me. It appeared human. The other prints that we found are flat. They're not. It doesn't have that like
Well, yeah,
curve. It had that curve in it.
right.
So I kind. That's why I was throwing it out almost. But here's my other thing. I mean, it is March, but if your shoe's not going to really curve like that, you know what I mean? So my next question was, why would somebody be up here in this cold creek with no shoes on? But you know.
All right. Yeah, I made up what you were saying. You were a little kind of breaking up. Your audio was lagging a little bit, but all right, because when like I said, unless I was there, I can't really, I guess you could say, really speculate or make the proper assumption. But when you were mentioning a curve, a curve could be like the step of with someone wearing shoes or a boot. Also, which a lot of people were well familiar with the mid-tarsal break. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to actually take the mid-tarsal break out of there because actually the proper thing that Meldrum actually corrected himself on, he calls it the flexation, the flexation of the instep of the foot, which even though we believe the Sasquatch to be more flat-footed, there is that flexation of the step off where when you step it'll
Okay,
cause a slight shape into the foot
right.
or
Are you?
heel, not
Are
the
you?
heel, but the shape of the foot. The thing is, there was definitely no toes displayed in that track. However, depending on how old that track is, sometimes I found very large tracks before, you know, regardless if it was bear or Sasquatch. A lot of times the shows will disappear or dilute depending on the weather as well. That's something too to keep in mind.
Right. All right. If you
So,
look at these two pictures,
and
if you look at this picture right here, you'll see the top one is what a squatch usually makes. The bottom one is what that footprint looks like on the edges, right down here in the corner. See, that's the difference you got to look for, right there.
No, I agree with you 100%, Fred. But now that's the thing. I mean, I couldn't really tell, honestly, judging from the picture.
Oh, I
But
could tell looking. I could tell
now
looking at
was
it.
he? I mean, did that what Fred just showed us? Whatever that little illustration.
That was
Because I
the
mean,
outer. That
the
was the out.
track looked kind of weathered too. Though I mean, as far as
This I just put up a shot of the first print of the 3-print trackway that was found, and look at the difference in it and that other one.
all right, hold on, let me pull that up real quick.
Okay.
Now, one thing my father-in-law mentioned, which I've never heard anybody say, is he thought that he could see like toenail impression, like where the toenails would be there.
Okay. If you look right there where the toes are, look how round that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the toes are you got the first three are the same size. No, the first two are the same size, but the last two are just a tad smaller. But if you look at the back of it, I don't. All I see is if it's a bear, all you see is right there where the ball is. But the only thing I can tell you is I don't see no heel.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. I see what you're looking at right here.
Yeah,
That is awesome. I've
I
actually found tracks that look just like that.
Yep.
does it. Yeah, so I mean,
Well, here's the thing: where the back part is, Fred, that
Hold
yeah,
on.
is really hard surface. Now, um, this is a coal pit, but where that first step is, it's kind of off to the side where it's a little harder, and then
yeah.
it kind of steps there.
Does it? It looks like look like it's got a little slide in it. You know, when they put the foot down there, kind of the weight kind of slid forward just a smidgen. You know?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
wet. It was pretty wet.
yeah. That's what I'm looking at, and I, I don't
Yeah,
see
what I
no
what I
heel.
did.
I don't see a heel. I just see a bear. That's what it looks like to me.
All right, hold on. Let me show you this next one. That's why I'm saying that where it steps in a 42-inch stride. Now here's the difference. Now look at the difference in the
40.
in the texture of the ground. And then
Okay. Now, yeah. See, I was
the third print even looks different. It's on
well.
different type of soil.
Well, the one you just posted, that's definitely a squatch, man. Look at
Yeah,
that first toe. That's his
Yeah,
right foot.
but see, like I was saying, the way
Bunch of
that it
slap.
was walking, that first, it's kind of on a left incline. So,
Yeah,
and then this one is flat. The second, let me pull up the third. The third's
because
really tough to see.
because the first one looked like a bear track. The second one, when you popped it up there, is that the same footprint, just a different angle?
No. This is the second print. There's 3 prints. It was 3 steps. 40
Okay,
about 42, 43 inches apart.
okay.
No,
now
hold
you
on.
know what? There's no doubt that even on the first one, I'll tell you why. Because look at the big toe. I'm going to point out a couple different things. I wish the viewers could see this, but the big toe, it displays out more to the side. You know, more or less like, all right, because I what I did, I saved it to my phone to where I could flip it around. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at it and I even zooming in on it. The big toe it's not like a human's toe. It sticks out more to the side. Like if we're looking at our right foot, for example. All right, well, let's try. Or yeah, look at your right foot, and your big toe. Our toes more straight towards the front, in front of us. This toe here is spray. I can't even say it right. Is splayed off to the left, more to the inside or outside, spread out. The other thing I was going to point out too, like a majority, not all, but a majority of bear tracks, their toes are more rounded. I noticed these have more of a point to them. Same thing even in this other track. Now the toes are a little bit more rounded in this one here, but yet they're pointed. And I also noticed the same thing. The big toe, is it stands out just like a humanoid type track. I have no doubt saying these are squat tracks myself.
Yeah, Cliff Barrickman also agrees. I've got his actual email saved where he agreed that he thought they were real too. We went back
Yeah.
and forth on different emails, but yeah, he said it was. Now the third one, see, it's in a different type of soil. So I mean, it's all
Yeah.
in the same area, but it's just different where it's stepped. And I mean, you got thick,
Exactly.
almost 4 foot stride. So and this was more hard on this one. But you could, hey Daniel, you could
Yeah.
take, and my brother-in-law is he's not a small guy. He's a pretty good sized dude, and he was jumping right next to it, and it would not even make an impression. It was amazing.
Hmm.
Yep.
Um. What was I gonna say? Now, like basically, to go along with what you were saying, and I've said this before too. With um. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Where I was going with this. Hold on, it'll come back to me in a second. um. Man, where was I going with this? I just had it in my head because I got thrown off. I was looking at the live chat real quick. Um. Oh no, as far as tracks and stuff, you know, like you said, the tracks depending on the ground, the terrain, the soil, it's the softness, what type of soil it's landing on. This is another reason why, and I'm sure you guys heard me say this before, and I'm sure you guys will probably agree too. Is you ever come across a single track? I know a lot of people do. Like a track all by itself in the middle. It looks like it's in the middle of nowhere all by itself.
Yeah.
Well, this is another reason. Depending on the soil. Like, I've made a video and over in Fred's area, probably about maybe 2 years ago. So I was walking on one of the power line area, and I was looking down. I just happened to look down on the ground in the dirt, and there's this nice bear track. And then it didn't dawn on me right away. I just so happened to look to check out the trackway, and I said, "Wait a minute." I looked around, and there was only one track. I said, "There's no way there's a 1 foot bear hopping around here." So I made a good point with that video. I said, I mean, it all depends on the ground, softer than the other part of it next to it, and people fail to realize that. And so I made a good point with that. Where depending on your soil and the softness of the ground, you know, you may only see one track. You may see two tracks if you're lucky. I think it's a very rare thing if you come across a trackway. It is an impressive find. It's amazing because it's very rare. Because you know most grounds that I go on, I always look in the soft areas because the soft areas tend to pick up more. The other thing you have to consider too, if the ground is soft and spongy, the ground will absorb a track, but through a period of time, it'll kind of come back out. So your tracks will kind of fade off and disappear. Same thing in the mud, dirt. Your tracks, once they're fresh and they stand out, your tracks, if they're deep enough, they'll last a long time. But your details are going to fade off. I found tracks like my 16-inch track. I found there, but there was only one. I got lucky that showed the toes. There was one facing it the opposite direction. The whole shape was there, but the toes weren't there. So I mean, like I said, it all depends on the soil. You know, how old, the age of the track, and like I said, the ground. I mean, so all together, the weather, soil, and time. It all plays a key role in the perseverance of tracks, and I believe it's safe to say it makes sense.
The hardest
Um,
place I've found to find a track, when you go in that field on the other side of the stream, Daniel,
yeah, yep, yeah,
going up that little hollow right there, following that trail up, that's the hardest place to find to get a track. And they're walking on that track, but you don't on that trail, but you can't find any tracks on it. That's the only place I have trouble
oh
finding
yeah,
a track. Going up that little ridge.
oh yeah. Even deer tracks in that area.
Yeah.
I mean, any animal tracks in the area for that matter.
But I did
So
realize when you're coming from that field back to the main trail behind Kennedy Fields, I'm always twice so far I've heard something big over to the left, maybe between me and the creek, because it's thick all the
Yeah.
way up to the creek there, between you and the creek there, and that's a good spot. I walked in there one day, coming back out. I heard something, so I walked in there, and there's a trail. It's right along the edge of the creek bank.
Right.
It goes all the way down to that log, and the trail stops right there at that log, and you can see where something crossing that log right there. So whatever it is, it could be a deer. I mean, it could be a bear or something like that, or maybe a squatch. I don't know. But whatever is in there, they can move without it even being seen. You can hear them, but you can't see them
Right.
and everything.
Hmm.
Hey, just
Uh,
a quick question for you guys. Are you going to the
yeah.
South? Are you all going to the Southwest Virginia Bigfoot Conference?
Uh, I was going to do that, but I think I decided to kind of stay away from that.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Because guess who was the lead guy for a radio show? Lynchburg or something like that did a show,
Right.
and guess who was the lead person or their main guest on there?
Rick Dyer.
Billy Willard.
Uh,
Now Billy Willard, he has his own Block Talk show,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's the one that runs it. So hold on, I'm trying to do something real quick. Uh, hold on one second. Uh, okay, let me try something here.
hey, Fred.
Yeah.
I visited the one of the Hatfield and McCoy cemeteries in Pikeville
Which one did you see?
yesterday.
Did you see ants?
No, that's what
Oh,
my father-in-law asked me too. It was Basil and Martha Hatfield,
oh, okay.
and the other one was Randolph and Sarah McCoy, the
Right.
leader of the McCoy gang. It
What
was
about
pretty
the what
neat.
about the what about the youngest daughter, the one who got shot by the
There was another McCoy
Hatfields?
family there, and you know what was really disturbing is the graves were just not taken care of. And I told my wife if I lived there, I would definitely. I mean, that's history. You know what I mean? It seems like somebody would be taking care of it better than it was. It surprised me.
All right, now I think it was the boy who had that was slightly mental in the head.
Mm-hmm.
He shot when they was escaping out of the back of the cabin to get out of there. The youngest one was killed by that boy. He was ended up hung. But did you see the grave of that little girl,
I don't. If
McCoy?
I,
It was a
if
McCoy. It was a McCoy
yeah,
girl.
there was a little girl's grave there. I've got videos
That's
of it.
that's the one. The one where he shot him, where he shot that little girl. He didn't mean to. He was told to shoot.
It was sad. I never felt a heaviness like that. I mean, it was weird, man. It was just it was something else. I don't know. I'll never forget it.
All right, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let's see. Everybody, just stand by for a second. I'm taking care of something.
All right.
I'm gonna get me a Coca-Cola. I'll be right back too.
You
All
gonna
right.
get you gonna drink you a can of battery cleaner. Well, you must have a strong gut, man. I can tell you that. I used it to clean my windshield. I poured it directly on my battery to clean the acid off the battery. Well, you got a cast iron gut, I tell you that.
Hey, I like them 5-hour energies too.
You know the five.
Hey, Sam. Sam, you go enjoy that cola, man. Don't worry about. Hey, I drink sodas too, but I've actually cut back on sodas, as much as I used to drink when it comes to different sodas and colas and stuff. But I still love my Dr. Peppers and root beer.
I love Dr. Pepper too.
Oh yeah, yep. Uh, all right, let me try something here. Oh, we got more viewers popping up, so that is very cool. Um, hmm. Well, Fred, I'll tell you what. We've been talking a lot about wildlife, and we slowly got to start getting into more about the Bigfoot topic, especially when we were discussing the tracks.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of wish I could have pulled them up a little bit more. I know, Layla, you were trying to do it, but I know you got that. I wish Fred could figure it out. Layla was able to get it, Fred, but
I got it one time, and but then every time I go to it, it just shows you or Fred, or I have like two choices, and it's you or Fred or whose ever pictures up, and only one time did the picture I wanted pop up. And
ah,
but I'll still play with it, but I'll try.
okay, cool. Uh, all right, Mr. Ryan Reading, if you are viewing still, I added you to a live group on Facebook. If you scroll through there on the bottom there, well, if you look through, you'll see the different tracks that we have displayed. So I'm sure he is checking that out now.
Oh, Daniel, your dad went up through the coal roads today, and he said they done started the daggone
The
uh
pay, yeah, they started this past weekend. Mentioned it. He was up there or something.
no, they were doing the controlled burn on my side.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so they done started in Turkapin Ridge, and they're going all the way up to the edge of the apple orchard, right there where the brush stopped and the last that trail all the way over on the far
Yeah,
road. Okay, that's where it's going to stop at.
right there.
But
Okay.
all that, yeah, that's the area that they're burning. So there's no use to even go into Turkapin.
Yeah.
It's going to be burnt down to the nub. I'm like,
Huh.
great. So that means all the squashes that was in the Mill Creek area, they're coming up there in the apple orchard. That's good. And up in the candy fields, there's, ooh, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of acreage. But he said the fire was going, there was no one there to watch it. That's
Mm-mm-mm.
pitiful.
Yeah. Now, hmm. Hold on one second. Okay, let me get back to. All right, I was just taking care of a couple things on Facebook. Let me get back to the live chat, see if there's anything popping up on there, because more viewers are jumping in. Tell you what, while viewers are jumping in, Fred,
Yeah.
what could you uh, what could you tell us about Bigfoot? Anything new that's been happening in your area that you might know about or you've noticed?
Well, well, from what your dad said, they had that fire, so that tells me that squatches do not like fire.
So they're moving away or probably down or up
They're
away
moving.
from there. Then.
They're moving up toward Kennedy Fields area. So that means I got to go back
So,
behind Kennedy Fields and just go like 1 mile. Yeah, well, from from the parking lot where I park here at Kennedy Fields to the upper Lake of Sharonda is 3 miles in a straight line from the parking lot to the back Kennedy Fields all the way to the upper Lake of Sharonda, going straight across in a straight line as the crow flies. They
hmm.
are back in that area.
Fred, got a question from the live
Back,
chat.
huh?
All right, here's a question from the live chat. It's a kind of a very common question in the Bigfoot community when it comes to cameras in general. Do you
Ain't
think? All
worth.
right, I know we've asked to discuss this again. I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of topics.
Well, what is it? What's the question? Leo. Daniel done froze up on me again. Ryan Redding. Ryan, are you there? Ryan.
Oh yeah, I see his logo.
All right. Hey, Daniel, you there? Hey, Ryan, are you there? I see your RYAN. There you go.
Got it.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What are you doing?
Hanging out.
You ready to start talking about some Bigfoots?
Have to.
Okay, what kind of question do you got?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you too with your Boston cap on.
Yeah. It's a little loud. Hold on.
All right, which question?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I didn't really have a question. I was just paying attention to the tracks.
Yeah, I was showing everybody a little bit ago how to tell a tennis shoe track from a Bigfoot track. You see this top picture right here?
Right.
When the Squatch walks, this is the outer, let's say the right foot. This is the outer rim. That's what a Squatch will do all the way around it, all the way up to where the toes are on the ball and everything. Right here is what a tennis shoe will do. And when you look at a track,
Right.
if you don't see toes, look for that indentation when they step, like when we step down, we kind of walk like this here, kind of, do a walk. We'll make that right there.
Right.
But when the Squatch walks, their foot is like this, all the way around. And
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Now Sam, he's got a couple different prints. He's got a bear track, a Bigfoot track, and a human track. Now, one of them was upside down, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I saved that one to my phone and I flipped it around, to try to get a better look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those tracks. I honestly, this is my opinion. I actually feel convinced that all those tracks that display toads that he had, if they were all, if
I can't
well, first
say
of all,
that.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I'm looking at I think it's the second track. It's the one with display toes. It's in the gray clay.
Right.
If you look at the back of the heel, there's an odd shape to it. Are you actually looking at it?
Yeah, let me pull
Hold
that back
on,
up.
let me pull it up.
Hey, hold on. You know what? I tell you what, Ryan.
Where are you? Ryan,
Yeah.
Do you want to try to do the screen?
The hook in the back of the track there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of my father-in-law's ATV wheel. I've actually got that track casted, and I wasn't trying to interrupt you, Daniel. I apologize. I wanted to answer.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
What it is we actually casted not only that print, but about 3 inches to each side of it, front and back.
That was a good track.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is. It is, and I seen the back there, and that had me questioning, like, wait a second.
Right. Now here's the one. Now here's the one I found. Now look how this one's shaped here.
Hold on. Let me go back.
See how that one's shaped?
Right.
Now look at the toes up here, and look at the heel. Well, look right here. This right here was taken on a berm.
Yeah.
You know what a berm is, don't you?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, that's what it was taken on. So it's not perfect, but you can definitely tell it was big, and Actually, what I saw actually was basically from here up, and then when I started pouring the cast from here down, it just started forming itself. I was plastering from here up.
Yeah, I
See,
need to clean. I got a couple. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
go ahead. I have one. Well, I had a few tracks, and actually two got broken. My son actually dropped them, but I do have one. When you were talking about the flexation in the foot,
Yeah.
Right.
you can kind of see it's like bent. You can actually see where it laid down and bent back up. But I do have that one. I could actually go get it if you give me a second. I'll try to show it to you. Hang on.
All right. That'll be cool.
All right, here you go. Check this out. Y'all see it?
Hold.
Can you see the
No, I don't
track?
see nothing right now. Hold on. Hold on. Try to hold the device still. It's all over the place. All right. Hold on. Hey, Sam, while you're holding it there, talking to the device so your picture will enlarge.
Okay, can you see it better now? At all?
Yeah, there we go.
I can't.
Yeah, I
I
saw.
can't hold it up. I can't hold it up. It's too heavy. Plus, it broke in two. Well, it broke in three. The top piece broke on the way back here from the cabin the first round,
Can you
and
all see
then
that?
can anybody
Guys,
see
I'm
it at
sorry.
all?
I'm sorry.
That was a journey. Just gonna try to show them that. Yeah, I took this one. This one was on the 12th of 2015. They say to etch the back, but I just write on all of them. This over here, and I don't know if you can see, but when you look at it, do you see that arch in it? It's like that. And the problem is, I couldn't get the toes because when we cast it, it was in like really thick grass. It was actually in a ditch, and the way it had come across, it crossed like a ditch, and it was on a little bit of an angle, but you could see the flexation almost right there in it. I don't know if I can get it any closer, but that is kind of what I look for. This one right here is just about 16 inches, but you could see the flexation, as you said. Instead of the like mid-tarsal break, it's actually like a flex. But that's kind of what I look for in tracks a lot of times. Like, see, this one has the rounded heel, like you're saying. And this is, I mean, I'm going to say 6 inches across, maybe 6.5, 7. It's like my whole hand. But you do have good tracks
Ryan,
because, go ahead.
Ryan, back up just about a foot, and then we can see it better when you hold it up.
Is that better? I was trying to show like that flexation the way I got it, which is very rare to get unless they're really, really good. I don't know if that side's a little better, but you can actually, there's a big, like a divot right here, which you would say, it's kind of hard to see what I'm saying, but I could not get the toes because there really wasn't any because the grass, you know what I'm talking about, like, it's that yellow grass. It's real hard. And, like, there was a mud ditch, and it went up and hit the foot. Was right against, like, the bank. But we did the best we could. I took some recordings of it and everything like that, but...
Where do you live?
I'm in Western New York. I live in Dunkirk, New York. But my research area is, like, Cherry Creek, New York.
There you go.
And I've actually had 2 sightings. I've seen them, and that's kind of what got me involved in doing all this kind of stuff. I didn't really. Oh, let me turn that down real quick. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
So you're from New York. So he's from New York,
Yeah, he's from Western New York.
the mountainous region. If he's at the top.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
Hey Ryan, are you in the mountainous part of New York?
My research area. It's actually like it's still part of the Appalachians. If you look up,
okay. I know what you're talking about.
It's actually Cherry Creek, New York. The whole reason I got started in this is I used to go metal detecting and stuff, and I go out to the old home sites and all that kind of stuff. Well, when I had my sightings, it just prompted me, and it kind of just threw me into everything.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And I ask this to everybody. What was your first thought when you seen it?
The first thought?
What was the first thing that crossed your mind when you saw that hominoid walking through the woods or running?
Well, the first one was really close. It was actually a juvenile, and it was only 30 feet away from me. So what happened is I was swinging the detector. I walked under a branch, and when I came up from under the branch, there was a hill, and I was working the side of an old foundation, and it was standing behind a tree, kind of like halfway behind it like that. And I looked up, I looked back down, and when I looked back up again, kind of like a double take thing,
Yeah.
I was kind of in shock. I didn't know what to do. And it turned around, and it went on all fours away from me. And it went up the hill, like, extremely fast.
Yeah.
And, like, the only thing I could do is, like, I left. I, like, actually ran to my vehicle, which was maybe, like, 300 yards away or something like that.
Right now. You know what got me into Bigfooting?
What's that?
In 1981, I had one step out 5 feet in front of me.
Yeah, it'll change it, brother.
Yeah, and I got more photographs of juveniles. I got one where I got his whole face on the. I'm facing over to the left. To me, it would be my left side. To him, would be the right side.
Right.
And he's snarling at me.
That's a good photo to get.
Yeah. Plus, I got one at less than 10 feet, and I over zoomed on it. He was 3 foot tall, and he was solid gray.
See, I was showing him. You weren't here. I was showing him my one cast.
That's a good cast. Let me see the toes.
Yeah, I was just explaining that. I don't have the toes in it.
Okay. Now see.
Hold on.
Mine is almost like that right there. Mine is almost like the toe part, except where your hand is just a little bit wider right there.
Yeah, this is about like I was saying 6.5, 7, but this is almost it's about 15.5, 16 inches. But what happened was when we were casting, there was a ditch and it had that thick ryegrass, that heavy stuff. Well, it was hard to cast the toes, so I couldn't.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. You know, it's kind of hard to put a cast on grass like that because you'll get the exterior, but you will not get the toes. That's the hardest part about grass.
But I was showing him I did get that flexation in the foot, like you won't get that with a shoe. You can see that. Well, what he said, Meldrum corrected that mid-tarsal break, which is like right here. You can see the
how thick is that cast? Is that about a 1/4 inch thick or half inch?
This cast, I'm going to put it to my 2 fingers. You're talking deep.
We're talking about 700 or 800 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, that's my 2 fingers, and if you hold up your 2 fingers, I mean, I weigh 200 pounds, so.
That's a good size cast. That's a good size critter.
Well, the thing is, we cast that in it's a whole connected area. It's like 12,000 acres of state forest.
Okay, because I'm on, me and Daniel's area is in George Washington National Forest. Now, he's over next to West Virginia, Me, I'm right off the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is right in my research area, and they migrate up and down the Blue Ridge Parkway plus the Appalachian Trail.
Right.
And
I that's one of the things. Talk about migration. I mean, I'm not trying to change everybody's subject here.
now keep going, keep going, keep going.
Do you think they migrate, and why do you think they migrate? Do you think it?
Well,
See, I
in my area, it's hunting season. You
okay.
know that, and believe it or not, I've got 3 birthing areas in my research area, and they come back. I do know they come back in the spring, but this year I got fooled. About a month ago, I found some 5-inch juvie tracks, 7-inch tracks, and 9-inch tracks. So there's three boys in my area right now. A male will have a wider heel and a longer front toe. A female will have a smaller heel but a shorter stubby toe.
Okay.
For some
See,
reason,
I didn't know that, but I was just always told that the female had like a rounder heel and the male had a more square. Uh,
well, basically the same thing is that the male's got a wider heel and the female's got a narrower heel.
right.
That's the only difference. And I have found squatch tracks that look like a human, but you have to look at it real good. Now, if I ever here's a little trick when you cast your track. Bring you along a can of hairspray like Nair or just plain old everyday hairspray that a woman uses.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Spray that in the track, then make your plaster cast.
But see, what messed me up last time is I really wasn't good at it, and it was kind of my first couple doing it. And
What? Hey, that's you got. Daniel can verify for that too. Look at
right.
it. It took him a bootload of tracks to get it right. You know.
But you know what I did though? I went from
And
regular.
I keep getting knocked off of here. So
Well, I'm keeping the
well,
conversation going. Yeah.
no,
But
I
right.
appreciate that because I that's why I usually try to keep the panel smaller because somehow for some reason it's knocking me out.
Well, right now,
no,
right now
the
we're looking at his track and we're talking about his track.
oh,
The
okay.
the cast he's
No,
got there.
I know I keep getting jumped off. I was going to share something with you guys too, but every time I go to try to do it, it knocks me off.
Well, go ahead
And
and do
then
it
it see,
again.
all right, I'll try it again and see if it works. I was going to share one of my tracks. You guys, most of you guys seen it before. It's kind of to go along with what the picture Sam was showing. And
Mhm.
this ain't the best looking track there is, but I don't know if you could notice, just like in Sam's track, the big toe is way out here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this was.
he's got a deformity in that foot,
Yeah, Fred.
that
You know where
toe.
Yeah, I see that.
Fred? You
Do
know
it,
where this
Daniel.
was taken from?
Where?
This came. That track there was. Remember when back in 2013 when me and you camped?
What?
Not the
What?
location where we got the whoop. The other right before the bridge.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right there
Yeah,
where you got your
it
first
was in
track
my
at.
over in my area. Yeah, because back.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was over there in the same area. That was actually right on the outskirts of the camp. That
Was there?
that's why the terrain because it's like I said it's still got you could see
Yeah. Was
the
that
debris
along
in
the?
it, but
Was
this
that
ain't the
along?
best one to show like what Ryan was showing.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that along the creek or was that out in the flats behind the camp where you got that track? He done froze
Jo-
up again.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But I
I
mean,
feel I feel bad. I came on and he got kicked out.
nah. Now Squatches, they got all
He
sorts
got
of different
kicked out
kind of
before
tracks.
you came
Yeah.
on.
I think Sam.
Okay.
I think Sam bounced off here too. Okay. So anyway, all Squatches make different types of tracks.
Well, see,
They.
I noticed that, and we actually found one in our area that see, like I was saying earlier, is I started using regular plaster, and now I went to hydrocal. I actually bought that.
What I do, I go to Marshalls and I go to the kids department, like for school supplies,
Mhm.
and you buy a 4-pound box of plaster, which is made for like when you're in school, you make coffee cups and stuff.
Right, right.
Same material is what I use. It does a good job, but I mean, anything that is a plaster Paris for work to
Yeah.
a point. The thick, most people say you mix it like a milkshake. I like mine a little bit on the thick side because I don't like it to crack. I've
Well,
tried, I've
see,
tried making it with where it's watery type, and it just doesn't work good.
I used that kind of stuff the one time, and I had those other tracks crack on me. I had a 19-inch track cast from a male that
Yeah,
we had seen, and it
right,
actually cracked because I don't think it was strong enough, or maybe I didn't do it as good. But that's why
right,
I bought a 50-pound bag of the hydrocal just so I have it.
right. Now, when you mix it up, mix it like pancake batter, but make the consistency about one time thicker than pancake batter, just a little bit thicker than pancake batter. Kind of
Mhm.
between a milkshake, between a super, where you take a milkshake and turn it upside down and it just sits there in the cup.
Right.
Between that and the pancake batter, right in that consistency right there. That's the best way to do it. Now, it took me 5 or 6 tries to get a good footprint. Now, the footprint I showed was on a
Yeah.
berm like that. It was just